long week after week after week.
After week after week.
Yeah.
But don't ever let a business force you into believing that their final decision is the final decision when you know that they're wrong.
Now you know you just said a mouthful right there. Cause they gave us their final decision
3 times.
Yeah.
So
give them a rundown what happened.
Those of you guys, because by the time you see this, the other one would have been up. So this is, what's the day? The 16th, August the 16th, and this transpired, or this issue took place back on July 20th. So before our birthdays.
Yeah. Right before our birthdays.
Right before our birthdays. So, like I said, just review back to that video. I'll give you like a brief scenario, whatever, a synopsis of what's going on. But long story short, someone cloned Drew's debit card and went haywire, basically went eating and clubbing and all of that stuff, and
they had a good time on me,
on us, because we have the same account. So after trying to get in touch with the bank and everything, we've basically been fighting this since July 20th, and each time they came back saying that no, it passed the fraud inspection, and basically were calling us liars, saying that it was us that made these transactions and they weren't giving us our money back.
Yeah.
So they cleared out our savings and our bill account. I mean, granted, we aren't rich and we don't have a whole lot because things happen, so you end up clearing out your savings. So we didn't have much in there, but the fact of the matter is that you took it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Long story short, today, well, actually last night, what happened is, because you guys don't know that, so with the bank, they basically told us that they don't do any like investigation when it comes to checking signatures. They don't get in touch with the police to try to do any investigation that way. They don't contact the merchants, the stores or restaurants or whomever that they use the cards and stuff. They don't check any of that. So basically the only investigation that they do is check to see if it was a manual swipe, which means that they presented a card, if the chip was used, or if it was like an online type purchase or something like that. That's all they check.
I'm really shocked they don't check all those things, but then again, I guess it's too much like right.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, we did a police report that night, as you will, see or whatever in that thing. So long story short, with that, the police wouldn't pick up the case because the amount was right below their threshold.
Yeah.
So in order for them to do the investigation, it had to be at least $2,500. Thankfully, it wasn't, but at the flip side, it's still damn to us because it wasn't enough for them to even investigate it. So
they brushed it. They brushed it on the rug,
basically. And so the bank kept saying, no, you need to contact the police because they need to be the ones to do an investigation, and actually had a couple people that ended up having to go off on, because I'm like, before they even did that, like they took the money or whatever, and so this was out of our Play account, and where we like go shopping or grocery shopping and stuff like that, and then we have our bill account because you try to keep all of that stuff separate. So they went and overdrafted that account because we don't keep a whole lot of money in that. So they wiped that one up. That was like in a negative almost $400 and some dollars by that time. So then we tried to get in touch with them again. This was like after our birthday.
Yeah,
this is like the week of our birthday.
Yeah, the week of our birthday. It was like right after my birthday. Like
it was that Thursday because we were supposed to be getting.
Yep.
No, not August the 1st. It was like because the 1st would have been that Wednesday because your birthday was Tuesday. So anyway, it don't matter
when
it was. It was the week of our birthday, so we were supposed to be getting the toilet fixed in a master bathroom, and we had money set aside for that in our bill account because we had just gotten paid, and you got 3 checks this month, so we were like, oh, okay, we have a little extra money, we might be able to do some things or whatever. And so I go in there to check.
Now you went up in there trying to buy something.
No, this was when we discovered everything happened.
Oh, okay.
Because after they had denied it the first time, I was like, I don't feel comfortable with leaving, because we were basically leaving our trust in the bank and leaving them up to their word, because they was like, okay, this is the fraud protection, and this is what it's supposed to be, and then they were going to take care of it.
The way the bank set it up too, this is the part that got me. She was like, that night when it happened, she gave me the spiel, say, hey, pretty much you got the time to still do a police report if you want.
I ain't got to that part yet.
Oh, okay, go on.
So after that, we were like, okay, I was like, babe, let's just go and get, because we went back and forth like the whole week of our vacation, like, should we go and get another bank account, or should we just leave it there and let them do what they're supposed to do? Because we were thinking that they were actually doing investigations and trying to figure out who this person was or people were or whatever.
We thought they really were
doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
And so it kept going longer and longer, and I'm like, I just don't feel right. Let's just go on and get new accounts and be done with them, because it's taking too long for them to be able to give us a answer. Because it just felt off, because you tell us, one, that we had to wait for the transactions to post before we can even file a claim.
Yeah.
So
which seemed dumb to me, because we telling you we didn't do the transaction. It's like,
why we gotta wait for them to go through?
It's like, can't you stop payment or something?
Right. So anyway, I'm like, okay, we go back to work or whatever, and that day we leave and we go. No, that Monday we open up another account online, and I was like, okay, but we don't have like the debit card or anything, so we can't go and just withdraw the money and go ahead and put it back in there, because like we had other bills and stuff that were already lined up. So the next day we go to the credit union, and they end up giving us cards that we can use that same day. So it's like, okay, let me go on in and take the money out of our bill account and go ahead and put it in this account so that we can go and pay bills out of that.
And thank God you did that.
No. Yeah. So as soon as I'm going in to check it, it's negative. No, it didn't even say negative. It was like $2.
Oh, so they did get us there before we got the chance to do it.
So I was like, $2? Where the hell is our money? It's like almost $500 in there.
It didn't even say where. You
it
look
didn't
at
say anything.
Statements, you didn't say nothing.
So we were like, okay, they didn't happen again. Now somebody didn't got this account, or what's going on?
And this time it ain't showing up on where they was going or anything.
So we were like, okay, what the hell going on? So immediately we get in touch with the bank or whatever, and she was like, yeah, it's the collections department from the bank. They basically took the money out of our other account to cover the balance on this account, because
our socials match everything.
And we were like, but you guys told us that wouldn't happen, because we asked several times. It was like, no, Mr. and Ms. Nelson, it's secure. Nothing is going to come out of this account because it's not associated with this.
Exactly.
You don't have anything to worry about, which was total BS. Because they took everything and left us with $2.
And then they did. And then to have us to call to figure out what's going on. And
no
then,
notification, no nothing.
And then here's the crazy thing. All that time, it didn't take them no time. We still had the dispute open then.
Yeah.
And then it hasn't even been 10 full business days before they snatched this out of our account, y'all.
Yep. And then the whole thing they were saying was because, they said it had been 14, because anything over 10 days or however long it was, that it was supposed to, that they have the right to go in, and anything that's associated to your social, they can take.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. They left us with $2. We had just gotten paid. We hadn't gone grocery shopping. We hadn't gotten gas. We hadn't done anything.
Nothing. No food.
Because we was like,
nothing.
Okay, so what the hell are we supposed to do? I mean, the claim is open. You see that we've opened it again. Like, will we really go through this much trouble if we were the people that did this?
Yeah, and then we had 2 claims because it was separate the way we had to file it. And, because one
But that was with the, that you talking about that with the police department. We had one claim with the bank.
No, we had 2.
Nuh-uh.
Because one pen before the other one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so...
But I thought it was all tied together.
Nah, it was set because they denied one. We were still waiting on the other one. That's when we got the other one later on in the mail, denied again.
No, because the one we got again, we had all of it together.
Oh, I didn't know it had all of it.
Yeah, because that's
at that
the
point
one,
I didn't want to.
That was the last one that had everything listed of all of the charges that they had. It was all on one thing.
Yeah. Oh, you screw that, man. I'm out of here.
So it was like, okay, well, what do you do? So and then luckily, after cussing and fussing and crying and doing all kinds of stuff, the manager, she was like, well, she reversed one of the fees. Because, hell, the bank kept adding in kinds of fees. We had like over $300 worth of bank fees alone.
The bank, it was ridiculous. I mean, they literally did not cooperate at all.
So,
and they didn't give us time to do nothing. They didn't care.
No, not at all. Because it was just like, okay, these people done robbed us, and now you still robbing us, and we're left with nothing. Like, what are we supposed to do?
And literally, one of the representatives told us, I don't care how long you've been with us.
They were like, it doesn't really,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter how long you've been. We see that you've been with us for over 10 years.
But that don't
matter. It doesn't really matter how long. We can't base our decision on how long you've been a member. Like,
and then,
okay.
I mean, and then the representatives didn't help, because we had another representative talking about pretty much it had to be that card that was used no matter what, because there's no way they can fraud a card and our system can't pick it up.
Right.
It has to be your main card.
She was
so
like,
it was that
I'm
card.
looking at real-time transactions. I'm like, I don't give a damn what real-time
what you call it.
transactions you looking at. It wasn't us.
And then I asked her, I said, so you basically saying that I swiped this card? And she was like, yeah, it was that card. I mean, it has the chip and everything. It was that card.
It passed inspections, and there was no alert on there. And so we was like, okay, well, can we speak to a manager?
It got so bad, y'all. I had to say, I'm like, did I sleep? What? I mean,
it ain't get to no bad where you was sitting there trying to figure out, because it happened. We sitting there watching the 4.
Yeah, I know.
So it was never a doubt that it was any of us, because we still had our
It
card.
just got to the point I got so pissed, and I was like, this is BS. And then we asked her to speak to the supervisor then, of course.
That's what I'm getting to.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But yeah, we asked to speak to the supervisor, and the first thing she say is, well, this is after business hours.
No.
You're gonna have to.
She said, it's 5 o'clock and I'm here by myself. All the managers are gone.
Yeah. And she told us we need to call back during normal business hours.
She said we need to call back during normal business hours between 8 to 5 Central Standard Time.
Granted, we've been on the phone holding for about 30 minutes.
We called, we was on hold for almost 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And she kept like over talking to us and just kept trying to basically say that there was no way that it couldn't be us.
And that's what they tried to get us at too, because our time crunch is by the time we get off, they're leaving.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean...
And then I'm like, you ain't gonna tell me, I've worked in customer service for many years. You ain't gonna tell me that you the only person in this building, that there's no nighttime supervisor or manager on the floor.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So, go ahead on.
Somebody on that floor.
After many complaints with the Better Business Bureau, I've left all kinds of nasty reviews. I blasted them on Twitter, which actually got a response from their media person.
When you told me that, you was like, somebody responded to us on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm on the phone with Regent. I was like, oh boy.
So yeah, I let him have it. I mean, even though he wasn't able to do anything as far as like the case goes, but he was just like, I'm filing 2 complaints because, one, this shouldn't have taken this long.
Yeah.
For have somebody, because if it's been open twice at that point, then at least some further investigation needed to be done. And then he filed another one on the little heifer.
The representative that's talking about that she there by herself and called back doing normal business.
And I'm like, because he was like, I've worked in this call center for over a decade, and there's always a floor manager or supervisor there at all, until the last person is done with their call.
Which we both did customer service, and it definitely somebody there.
So yeah, you can miss me with that. If you was tired and didn't want to take that last call, then you should have played that last call that you better until it's time for you to go. We already know how to work the system.
Yeah, so better hold on to that last call, and you know how to work it.
So we're wrapping this up because this one got long, and we keep venting because we keep talking over each other.
Well, that's the thing that we gonna vent. I know. Well, let's wrap it up.
So after all of that was done, and we got the police report, which we had to pay $6 for each report because they filed two, one for theft and one for fraud. Granted, so the lady, the manager that we did get to reverse that charge, she was able to stop them from taking all of the money that they had taken out of our account. And so what we did was we had to do what we did. We left $50, which you guys saw that Aldi's haul.
Yep.
That was the $50 that we had to try to stretch it. So we had to.
Actually, it wasn't even $50. Because we had to cut into that.
Yeah, because we had to get gas.
Yeah.
We had to. Yeah. So we made it do what it do.
Yeah.
But so rewind or fast forward to yesterday.
Yeah.
So no, Tuesday.
No, fast forward to
Tuesday. Tuesday,
because
this was when we had talked to the little heifer on phone, and she was like, we couldn't talk to nobody. So after we got through with that, Drew was like, I'm just gonna call the restaurants and stuff to figure out what we could do, because we were basically doing all the legwork.
I felt defeated. I was like, this don't make no sense. They trying to tell us that we did something that we know we didn't do. And the police department said they're not doing anything else. The bank obviously ain't gonna do anything else. That I left my trust in to do something. And I said, well, let me just go on and just call them up. So I just went down the bank statement, started calling people up. And pretty much, I got a hold to probably 2-3 people. And only like 2 people really helped.
Right.
But only one person really was able to do something. And
that was Old Charlie.
Yeah, Old Charlie's. They they came back. He was like, just give me a little while and I'll do some research the next day, because he was busy that night. And I was like, that's fine. And I had to be nice about it because this is all I got. I'm like, that's fine, just get back with me and I'll see what's what. And he went to the accounting department, and they first just sent me the tab of everything that they bought. The itemized receipt. But
there was no signature on it.
Yeah.
So we were like, speaking of that, they didn't order like a 9-ounce salmon and some kind of burger. They didn't order appetizers. They didn't order and they had a child with them. So they didn't order the kids meal and some fruit. Poor baby just eating with a bunch of criminals.
That's all they doing?
And then the heifers left a $10 tip.
A tip.
You like,
with
damn.
5 spins.
Okay, so we were like, okay, thank you for that. Is there any way that you could give us a copy of the signature?
Yeah, I shot him that email back. He was like, I shot him an email back, and he was like, hey, that might take a little time to get, but I definitely look into it. And I was like, and he said, and I shot him back after he said that. I had said, okay, that's fine. Like, just let me know when you get the information and things like that, and thank you in advance. And then he hit me right back, probably like about 2 or 3 minutes later, and said, hey, I found it quicker than I thought, and your name definitely wasn't on that card. And I was like, it's cool. That's when he gave us the information. He gave us the real receipt with the name, the signature.
Anything. So I printed that shit out real quick, and I emailed it to the people that had our ticket at the bank. And I'm like, okay, what else do you want? Do you want our firstborn? Like, what do you want at this point?
But see, that's the thing. We was on the phone. We used our lunch for that because we had to take it early. And then when I got back to the desk, they hit me back again talking about, hey, I need to verify you
That's what I was getting to.
My bad.
I hadn't even got to that yet. I'm still sending them the email.
Well, go ahead on. I'm jumping.
I know. So I sent them the email. It was like, okay, here's everything else that we have. The receipt clearly shows our card information, but somebody else's name. It was C Champ or somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if this isn't proof enough that this isn't us, what else do you need?
I don't know what else it needs.
So that's when they called him back and was like they needed his permission to reopen the ticket, and then you go and tell them what she said.
Yeah, so basically she verified me real quick, and she was like, hey, I got a few questions for you. She asked me that I know the name of some place. It was like TSI or something like that, and I was like, nah, never heard of it. She said, actually, our fraud department did block this last transaction they tried to make, come through. I had said, last transaction, what you talking about? And she said, she's like, you didn't, nobody tell you about the last transaction? I said, nah, they told me everything was past fraud.
Yep.
And then the last transaction was almost $500. And I had said, well, that's a proof enough.
Exactly.
I'm like, I closed the thing. Why would I want to rent it again?
That goes to show that once it was denied the first time, they never actually reopened it to investigate it anymore. They were just going by the fact that it passed their test.
It got denied the first time, the second,
So what they did was they used whatever device to put it inside the gas pump.
Yeah.
They put it there because it was either there or at the ATM, and she was like, it couldn't have been at the ATM because it would have wiped us out for more.
Yeah.
So they put it in the gas thing, and they left it there for a few days, just racking up people's information.
Mm-hmm.
They came back, took our card information, put it on a prepaid card, with their name on it, or whatever name they were using.
Yeah.
And they went to town with
it.
And that's how. And she was like, I've heard of things done like this, but I've never seen it. And that's why it was able to pass their inspections, because it looked like a legit
and so bottom line, we got everything reversed, but bottom line is, if you know you didn't do anything and you could find a way to fight it, don't give up and let a corporation or a company like that push you over. Find avenues to get it done, because we made our voice loud and clear, and I'm quite sure when that account pop up, it's all types of red flags on there or what not to say.
Because it wasn't letting it, like, hell, and even I even put on Twitter and say, shit, what else you want? I mean, hell, if you gonna screw me, at least take me to dinner. Like, what else you want? Like, damn. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I mean, and then it's like, thankful to, those few people that do follow us on, like, our personal Facebooks and stuff, and that I talked to on a normal basis, that really knew what was going on and stuff.
Yeah.
And you guys really, checked on us and stuff like that, and actually offered, it's like, if we can do anything and we're here, just let me know. It's like,
appreciate that.
We
really
appreciate it, but it's like, I don't want to. I just didn't want to go that route. I mean, we've gone through so much in our relationship as being married.
It was time to grind.
That it wasn't the worst that we've gone through, but it was just the fact that we had to, like, redo and basically get back on your grind and make stuff work. So it wasn't that we didn't appreciate the gestures or want to accept those gestures. It's just that things are tight and times are hard for everybody.
Yeah.
So if we could make it do, and we knew we was gonna get paid, and we just had to wait for a little while to make it shake. So,
but yeah, guys, thank you for your prayers. We got it done, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this useful information. And
another thing is, because this was things that we didn't know. We've been using, because we have the same account. As long as we've been with this bank, nobody bothered to tell us that we both needed our own username and passwords, even on the mobile app or the website. So we were using the same information, And so when I logged on to block all the transactions, I was blocking it on just mine.
And
they were using his, which was how we found out which card it was being used, because it was still left open.
Yep.
So if you share an account with your spouse or your spouse or mate or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, if you share an account, make sure that you guys use your own separate logins and stuff, and try your hardest not to use your card at the gas stations or the ATM. You gotta use the ATM to get your money, but just be careful. If you have to shake it, to make sure that there's no device or anything on top of it.
If you gotta use it at the gas station, the safest way is go to the window or go inside. That's the two safest ways.
If they get it in there, then that means somebody
inside got that, and it'd be dispute a lot quicker.
Yeah.
But hey guys, we thank you for letting us vent for a little while. Please be sure to give us those big thumbs up, subscribe,
sorry. Share this video on all of your social media, however you see fit.
Alright guys, later. Peace.
Hey family, thanks for watching.
Please be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Also, check out our latest video and be sure to subscribe.
Bye guys.